Okay, hi YouTube. It's been a minute.
More like weeks. Sorry, people.
So this is well, not this is I am. I should probably rather say I don't know, same shit, different day. Anyway, so I'm still your host Alicia, and I've got the lovely Corrine here with me, and we still don't know what the fuck we're doing, and she's gonna be telling us about some stuff. I'm actually quite stoked about this one. She told me what it is, so. The only people that are going to be surprised is you guys. And again, coming at you live-ish from our dining room table. We're not in a bathroom. We're not doing this in the toilet, I promise. It's called open plan living, guys. It's a thing. Google that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys over to Corrine. She's going to be telling us about some... I just see the word creepy. But go.
Yay. Okay, so...
Some ominous music.
Like, I was Googling, like, what are we gonna talk about?
Okay, when did you Google this? Can we just...
Last year, okay?
So I say it's been a minute.
So, but you guys, I sat on this research from last year to now, okay? So I feel I deserve a medal or something, okay? Anyway. And then I was like...
You've got a bucket of coffee. I feel like that's enough.
Leave my coffee, okay?
I'm not touching it.
Stop judging me.
Brilliant. Why would I ever?
So I came across Supernatural.
Yay.
Show we all know and love. And then I started thinking, like, all these creatures that... Because we know some of them from urban legends and what. But all of them actually urban legends, or did someone just go and sit and make this shit up? But anyway, so then I started Googling that. And I'm like, well, this has got to take a hot fucking minute. And I didn't have time at that stage because I thought we were going to do a podcast that night, but we didn't. So I went with the creepiest urban legends from every state, which is the USA. Because
Shocker.
We love the USA. Well, I do.
USA. Okay, I'm done.
So the first one on our very creepy list is Alabama.
Alabama.
And in Alabama, they've got Hell's Gate Bridge. Ever heard of it?
I think I have. I could be wrong. I don't know. Could be wrong, could be right. We'll find out.
Okay. So what they say here. Now, guys, this is just like a breakdown of each one. I didn't go into detail. I'm pretty sure there's a lot, but we'll go and post some pictures of each one on, the Facebook and the Instagram.
And the stuffs.
And the Twitter. Like, if you guys want to follow us, that'd be great.
I'm not even going to lie, man. Like, you do like the Twitter stuff and all that, but I don't even know how Twitter works. Like... I'm probably one of the only millennials that's just like, ooh, Twitter, no.
I only started Twitter because of the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you guys could go and follow us, that would be great.
That would be nice. That would be a nice
like,
do your good deed, damn it.
Anyway, let's start because we like very procrastinating right now.
Story of our lives.
Like. Okay, so Hell's Gate Bridge. The generally accepted story of Hell's Gate Bridge starts in the 1950s. A young couple driving over the bridge somehow drove their car off the bridge one night and they both drowned. There are two legends associated with Hell's Gate Bridge. One, that if you drive your car out to the middle of the bridge and turn off the lights, the couple will magically appear in your car and leave a wet spot on the seat. Now that's rude.
That's fucking rude.
The other, which is how the bridge got its name, is the belief that if you drive over the bridge and look over your shoulder halfway through, the scenery behind you turns into a portal to hell engulfed in flames. Potentially, a curb ghost hunters and bored teenagers, Hell's Gate Bridge is close to cars and it is in such disrepair that walking across is strongly discouraged.
Okay, now I just want to say something. So... people might not like me too much for this, but you know what? It's fine. Like, it's one of those things. So, if they say that you can see a portal to hell, right?
Yes.
Can I just say that I think you're going to feel it first because, fire is a thing. It's fucking
to bring
hot.
Marshmallows so we can make s'mores.
So, I think you're going to feel it before you see it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
But, I don't know. Alabama's a hard place anyway.
I don't know, man. I've never been there.
Me neither.
I can't contribute
but
anything
I like
to this
their
conversation.
Accent,
I do.
So I really want to go there. Anyway, I just don't want the alligators.
Fuck them.
Like, no.
We've got some at the zoo. We can...
Okay, so the next one is from Alaska. The Kushtaka of the Alaskan Triangle.
What kind of sandwich is that?
I don't know, we're going to find out now. Everyone knows the story of the Bermuda Triangle, but you might not know about the Alaskan Triangle. On average, 5 out of every 1,000 people go missing in Alaska, according to the LA Times. So even if there's nothing supernatural going on, it's easy to get lost in the Alaskan wilderness. The Tlingit tribe that lives in Juneau has their own explanation for the high number of missing people. Evil spirits called the Kushtaka. The Kushtaka are shapeshifters, half human, half otter, that lure women and children to water and with fake cries in order to steal their human spirit and drown them. Like half otter. I don't know how I feel about that.
Which half?
That is always my question. Like, is it like, what is that other thing? Oh, come on, help me.
A seal.
No, man, the thing that's half bull, half man, what do you call it?
Is it a centaur? No.
I don't think so. Something like that.
No, it's half horse, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's also one that's got a bull's head and a man's body.
Fucking problem, that's what
And
you call
then,
it.
yeah, and because there you've got the top half is, well, top quarter is the animal and the rest is the human body.
So which
But
part
the
do you think is the
centaur
otter?
is the horse's bottom half and the top half is man. So I don't know. I would think the bottom half would be the otter.
Do you know, like where my mind went right
Do you think
now?
it would be small like the otter? Because an otter is a quite small animal.
Well, if you're luring women and children, there's something wrong with you to begin with. I don't care what fucking shape you are in, man. It's horrible. But I was going to say something funny and I actually forgot. It'll come to me in about 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue.
You do.
Okay, then we going all the way back to Arizona. The ghosts of Slaughterhouse Canyon. The story of Slaughterhouse Canyon, also called the less frightening Lunas Canyon. I don't know what happened there.
I was going to ask, like, how many fucking O's are in there?
Takes place during the gold rush. During the 1800s, there was a family who lived down in the canyon. They were very poor, so the father would venture out into the canyon for food for his family. As you might have guessed, one day the father did not return, so his family slowly starved and descended into madness. The mother, unable to bear listening to her children's cries anymore, put on her wedding dress, murdered her children, and then threw them into a river nearby. The next day, she succumbed to starvation herself. The legend states that if you go down to Slaughterhouse Canyon at night, even now, you will hear the loud, anguished cries of the mother who lost her mind. I don't know how I feel about that.
Why would you put on a wedding dress, though?
I don't know. Symbolization.
Sentiments? What's going
10
on?
to 1.
But how? I don't know. I'm gonna be very horrible. So I think maybe.
Yeah, let's just continue. Let's just continue. Okay, then we go to Arkansas. The Boggy Creek Monster. The Boggy Creek Monster of folk in Arkansas version of Sasquatch. He is commonly accepted to be around 7 or 8 feet tall and covered in hair. Legend says that he roams the creeks of rural Arkansas. He was first spotted in 1834 when people reported seeing a wild man. People still claim to spot the Boggy Creek Monster today, and he has been the subject of 5 feature-length films, including 1972's The Legend of Boggy Creek. Never seen that movie.
Neither have I. I've never actually heard of that. I think we should watch that. Just because
maybe
it's horror.
broaden our horizons a bit. Sorry, that's our little mascots there going for gold.
One of them ran into the door. It was actually quite funny.
Okay. Then we go all the way to California. Okay, it's okay. Just drown them out, people. Drown them out. They're dogs, that's what they do. Okay, so in California, we get the Charman. The Charman. Man. Okay. The Charman's origins story is gruesome. A father and son were both caught in a house fire and horribly burnt in 1948. After the fire, the son became so mentally unstable that he killed his father. When the police found the son, he was so unrecognizably burned they didn't realize he was alive. So he ran away before they were able to arrest him for the murder of his father. Ever since then, the Char man is still spotted wandering the woods surrounding Oja. I'm sorry, I think I'm saying that incorrectly. Anyway, occasionally approaching tents of innocent campers, or pretending to be a hitchhiker and then attempting to attack them.
Okay, if you are going to be attempt to be a hitchhiker, who's going to pick up someone who's badly burnt and probably 100?
But he probably has a hoodie and stuff on, so they don't see it.
No, because I can't recognize him.
Exactly.
But he's probably going to be 100 though.
I don't know.
What is it, 1948?
Yes.
He's 100.
So I think he's dead by now.
Don't worry, guys. You get to
Okay.
You can pick up people.
Colorado. The many legends of Riverdale Road. Riverdale Road is the site of not one, but 8 creepy stories, ranging from a hell gate to ghosts of slave hanging from the trees to a stretch of road is decidedly spooky. The creepiest story, though, is that of the phantom jogger. One day there was a driver who hit a jogger, freaked out, and left him for dead. Now it's said that if you park at the side of the crash, you'll hear disembodied footsteps getting closer and closer to your car. People have reported handprints on their windows and banging noises as if someone was kicking the outside. Yeah, just keep on running, bro.
Shit.
And then in Connecticut, Hannah Cranner.
What's up with these names?
I don't know. Known as the Wicked Witch of Monroe, Hannah Cranner gained a reputation as a witch in the 19th century when her husband died by mysteriously falling off a cliff, and locals reportedly believed that she had bewitched him. People also believed that she would cast spells on people she didn't like. Hannah lived till the age of 77, but right before she died, she asked to be carried down to the cemetery in her coffin by foot, not wagon. After her death, the people of Monroe tried to wheel her coffin down the hill but were unable. The coffin kept falling off, so they were forced to carry it. When the townspeople returned to her home, it was found to be engulfed in flames, sealing Hannah's reputation of witchcraft. Now you can visit her real grave in Trumbull. Okay, so Delaware, the ghost of Mr. Chew. While not particularly a mean-spirited ghost, Samuel Chew's story is still disconcerting. Chew was the Chief Justice of Delaware Supreme Court in 1741. As the story goes, while he was alive, he didn't always get the respect he deserved. People frequently made fun of his name by mimicking sneezes while he walked past. Okay.
I just thought of, Chewbacca from Star Wars.
I just
Mr.
thought
Chew.
of chewing
Chewy.
like chew gum or something. Anyway, after his death, people reported seeing his ghost sitting under a poplar tree, wandering the courthouse, and generally creeping out the residents of Dover. Chew would also pull on men's coattails and give women a cold, icy feeling. So just, hanging around there.
Yeah, I was just chilling. He's just saying his thing. He'll be strong.
Florida, the gravity-defying Spook Hill. The phenomenon that happens at Spook Hill is real. Cars that are parked in neutral will appear to roll uphill. Legends say the hill is either the site of a Native American burial ground or an epic battle of a Native American chief against a crocodile. But the truth is, it's actually just an illusion created by the hill's surroundings. While cars appear to be rolling uphill, they are still just rolling downhill.
Yeah, I was about to say gravity, I don't know what's going on there.
Okay, then we go all the way to Georgia, the ghost town of Lake Lanier. At the bottom of Lake Lanier lies almost fully intact towns, ferries, a racetrack, and multiple cemeteries. The government, in its determination to create Lake Lanier, bought up an entire town in order to clear the space for the lake after they received congressional approval in 1946. However, they just decided to let the water cover up the towns rather than demolishing them. Now, Lake Lanier has a decidedly eerie feel about it. There have been unusual number of freak accident and deaths in the lake. In 2011, there were 17 deaths alone. Many of the people who drowned have been recovered. People have reported feeling arms and legs in the water, but have not been able to find them right after, leading people to believe that spirits still roam the lake. Like, I can't...
Do you know why there's
okay.
been... It's like some freak accidents, right? Because people have driven into someone's fucking roof. That's what happened in that lake. That's why the boat flipped and all that kinds of shit. And of course you're gonna, like, you know, hit your head and drown if you drive into someone's roof.
You see, like, I can't. Just the thought of being in dark water and you just feel arms and legs. Oh, I can't.
Someone touching your feet.
Ooh,
you wouldn't be able
and
to
you
do
know
that.
it's not like a fish because it's like arms. Oh, I can't. Okay, let's go to Hawaii, a magical place. Okay, the night marches. Well, that went south very quickly. Okay.
The night marches.
Yes.
Sounds like a festival.
Night marches, according to Hawaiian law, are not evil spirits, but they do demand respect. They are spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors who march around the island to protect sacred areas. Legend says that if you look directly at a night marcher, you will be marked for death. And if by some chance you find yourself in the middle of a procession, you are supposed to lay down in the middle of the road.
And then what? Someone hits you with their car?
I don't know, I think you just need to wait it out.
You are marked for death
Wait it
anyway.
out. Okay, so then we go to Idaho. The water babies of Massacre Rock. Water babies are a Native American legend that are found in a couple of different places in America, but most famously in Pocatello at the Massacre Rocks State Park. The Shoshone tribe was first recorded in 1805 and were roaming the Great Plains as early as the 1500s. So it's not clear when exactly the legend originated, but the story goes that the Shoshone experienced an extreme famine, and mothers were forced to drown their babies in a river rather than to watch their children starve. Today, some people claim that if you sit quietly at the river by Massacre Rock, you will hear the sound of babies crying. Other stories say that these babies grew gills and fins and survived. And now they seek revenge on their mothers by luring unsuspecting victims to their deaths in the river.
So mermaids.
I don't know. I feel babies are way more creepy than mermaids.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. It's just like,
you know, babies with fins, man.
like, oh hell no.
It sounds like you know, babies with fins. It sounds like some Dante's Inferno shit.
I know, right?
We spoke about that last time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So Illinois, Homie the Clown.
not a fucking chance.
Throughout the suburbs of Chicago in the 90s, there was a rumor going around elementary schools. There was a creepy man dressed as Homie the Clown, yes, from In Living Color, driving around in a white van trying to lure kids into it with candy and money. In some variations, he was a kidnapper. In others, he was a rapist. But in all variations, Homie left a mark on young Chicago kids in the 90s.
John Wayne Gacy.
I don't know. This guy dude, in today's day and age, just say you got free Wi-Fi. You're good.
Oh, you can probably lure me in with food.
I'm talking about
Sure.
the kids.
Kids too, they always want to fucking eat.
Indiana, the 100 Steps Cemetery. The 100 Steps Cemetery is located in the town of Brazil. Though the official address is actually disputed. While it's not clear when the stories about the cemetery being haunted began, there are gravestones that date back to the 1860s. The legend states that if someone finds themselves in the cemetery at midnight, they must climb the steps and count to 100. At this point, a ghost of an undertaker will appear and show the person a vision of their death. On the way back down, the visitor is supposed to count the steps again. If they count the same amount of steps, the vision was false. People who visited the cemetery in the past have tried to outsmart the supernatural forces in 100 steps by avoiding the steps altogether. They've reported being knocked or shoved to the ground by an unseen force.
Okay, but what if you like miscount? You lose your count, because I lose my count like permanently.
I don't know. Just don't go there. Don't do it.
No, but I don't feel like climbing the fucking stairs at midnight.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and like in the dark, you being night blind, I wouldn't choose.
I can barely see down the 2-foot passage. I mean, what the fuck?
So let's just continue. Iowa, the Black Angel. The Black Angel stands over 8 feet tall in Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City, and she is black due to oxidation. Most likely because of her dark appearance, multiple legends have cropped up around her. Sorry. One legend says that a pregnant woman should never walk under her or she'll lose her child. Others say that if you touch or kiss the statue, you'll be dead within 6 months. Whether haunted, cursed, or completely harmless, the statue is definitely a somber sight to see.
Fuck's sakes. Who's kissing statues?
I know, right? I was like, why? Why would you want to kiss them?
You know why you die within 6 months, man? Because there's so much fucking herpes on that thing.
Exactly.
Like, it's like...
Even if you
like
just touch it, like all the shit that's on it.
That's like a whole STD on its own.
Exactly.
Right there. So don't kiss statues, guys.
Kansas, the Devil's Chair.
I've heard of that, though.
The legend of the Devil's Chair goes like this. An old farmer in Alma refused to sell his land to the city in order to build a new cemetery. Someone got a little too tired of waiting for him to sell, so he was pushed into his own well. Eventually, someone said that there was a terrible smell coming from the well, so the city sent someone to investigate. It was ruled that the well was empty, and it was boarded up. Now, if you make your way to Alma, you can actually sit on the boarded up well, but legend says that people who have sat on the well have been known to mysteriously disappear.
Shit like that would make me so superstitious, man, because I really want to sit on the well, but I wouldn't do it because I'm like, guys, you know
Do you think we can take like a doll and put the doll there? And if the doll disappears, we know don't
then
sit
thank
there.
God.
Okay, Kentucky, the goat man of Pope Lick. There's no clear consensus on how the goat man came to be. Some say he was a circus performer, others say he was a farmer who tortured his goats for Satan and in return was transformed into a hideous goat monster. However, everyone does agree on his appearance. Dark fur, pale skin, goat legs and horns. Maybe it's Satan himself.
I have a question.
Wait, I'm not done. The monster is said to hide under the bridge of Pope Lick Creek in Louisville to lure people onto the train tracks, only to see them be hit by oncoming trains. Sadly, this urban legend has had some dangerous consequences. In 2016, an Ohio woman fell to her death from the bridge while looking for the goat man.
So I've got 2 questions. So my first question, they say that he's got black fur,
Dark fur.
Dark fur, right? And pale skin. Who the hell got close enough to see that he's got pale skin under that dark fur?
Maybe
my
his
next
face.
question, maybe his face. I don't know, the horns or some shit. I don't know. Second question, do you think that's where that story came from, that, they reach children about I think it's the goats that trots over the bridge and there's a troll or some shit under the bridge?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm quite convinced there was a story like that. I'm
I
going to
don't
Google
know.
that because I'm sure there is.
Okay. Louisiana, the Grunge. Grunge Road is an old dirt road that leads deep into the woods and eventually to a dead end. It was a favorite place for teenagers to go and do whatever teenagers do until they learned about the Grunge. The Grunge are rumored to be a group of deformed half-human, half-monsters that resulted from years of isolation in the Louisiana bayous. In the present day, it's said that if you find yourself on Grunge Road, don't get out of your car if you see a goat who looks injured. The stories say that the Grunge use goats to lure people out of their cars so they can eat them and drain their blood.
That's pleasant.
I think it maybe just be like someone's mom decided to come up with something like this because she know her teenage daughter or son was getting it on. I don't know.
Honestly, when you read that with the grunge, so initially I heard the Grinch. I was about to say that is a fucking lie, man. It's from Google, bro.
That is not the Grinch.
That's not a true story.
Okay. In Maine, the mysterious stain on Colonel Jonathan Buck's tomb. The tomb of Colonel Jonathan Buck in Bucksport bears a mysterious leg-shaped stain. The story goes that Buck sentenced a woman to burn for witchcraft, and while she was burning, her leg rolled out of the fire. It's also been said that the witch cursed Buck's tomb to always bear a stain for this injustice. It is said that people have tried to get rid of the stain twice, but the stain keeps reappearing. Okay.
How
That's
high
what
was
you
that
get.
fire?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was
I
like,
know,
what?
I really am stoked about this. I think it's such an awesome topic, and I'm turning everything into a funny, and I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I'm thinking in images tonight, like completely.
Okay, now we go all the way to Maryland. Chessie the Chesapeake Bay Monster.
What?
Chessie
That dude.
Chessie the Chesapeake Bay Monster. Chessie sightings have been rumored since the 1930s, but really started to pick up steam in the 80s when photographic
Those dogs.
Okay, let's try this again. When
Photographic.
there we go. What the hell, man?
I don't know what happened.
Evidence
there.
became more readily available. Chessie is said to resemble a snake, measure around 30 feet long, and is the approximate thickness of a telephone pole. There haven't been any recorded attacks from Chessie, but a 30-foot long snake does not sound like something most people would want to run into.
Do you think that is the American version of Nessie?
I think so. I don't know.
It's so coincidental. Like, I know Nessie is not necessarily a snake, but I mean,
No, Nessie is more like
she's a
I don't
sea
know.
monster.
Yeah.
She looks like a brontosaurus.
Yeah, that's what they state, but
Yeah.
they've never found her, so
Yeah, so
I'm
no
sorry.
one knows if
I'm
she
sorry,
looks like a
there's this
brontosaurus.
hugest fucking monster in a lake and you can't find him. I'm sorry, no.
We have the technology.
Exactly. Massachusetts. The spirit of Hoosac Tunnel. In the 24-year-long construction of the Hoosac Tunnel in western Massachusetts, approximately 200 men died. Death was so associated with the tunnel that it was actually nicknamed the Bloody Pit. After a particularly gruesome explosion in either 1867 or 68, 13 miners were trapped inside the tunnel. The other workers assumed that the miners had died, but eventually it was discovered the miners had lived, built a raft to combat flooding, and eventually died due to poisonous gas inhalation.
I don't know what's going on.
It's said that these 13 miners haunted the tunnel for years, moaning and briefly appearing as ghosts.
Yeah, well, if I died like that, I also wouldn't be too happy about it.
Yeah, I
I'd
know.
also be bitching like,
Yeah, I
you
would
know.
be pissed. Michigan, the little girl on Knock Knock Road.
Oh no, that just sounds terrible.
I don't know, little kids in horror, I can't.
And on a
I
street
can't.
called Knock Knock. Have you seen the movie?
The legend of Knock Knock Road says that there was a little girl who was murdered on Knock Knock Road in the Detroit area. And now she appears to drivers at their car window knocking, trying to find the person who killed her. That's sad, man.
It's sad, man, but she must have a shit ton of patience. I'm sorry. I'm being so disrespectful, and I humbly apologize to anyone who I might be pissing off by saying the things that I'm saying. Like, I really do like this kind of stuff. I mean, supernatural shit is just brilliant. Yeah, like the stuff that we watch generally it's like Supernatural 101. It's insane. But yeah, if I'm being disrespectful, I do apologize. It's just, I don't know, I think I'm just in a weird mood today. And I'm just making it funny.
Okay, then we go to Minnesota. The Kensington Runestone. In 1898, a Swedish-American farmer found a gigantic slab of rock on his farm that had symbols that appeared to be Norse. And since then, no one has figured out where it came from. While official historians have debunked that the Vikings made an appearance in North America before Columbus did, the myth has persisted. And if it wasn't the Vikings, who did leave the mysterious rock? And what does it say? Dum dum dum. Okay, Mississippi. Deer Island's haunted treasure. The ghost of Deer Island originates from an old pirate story. The story says that back in the 1920s, two men were fishing on Deer Island when they heard rustling in the bushes, which they assumed was wild hogs. Eventually, they decided to check it out and encountered a headless skeleton. They ran back to their boat and the skeleton followed them all the way there. I'm sorry, all I can see in my provisional vision is that scene from Scary Movie 2 where
Yeah.
Cindy runs away from the skeleton.
Except there's a difference. That one had a head.
Until they were playing fetch with it.
Actually, I have not seen that movie in
Oh,
probably like 10 years.
It's my
maybe.
strong hand.
That shit, that never gets. I actually said that today.
According
Well, that's
to the pirate story, there was a ship that sailed into Biloxi Bay and buried their treasure on Deer Island. The crew decided to behead one of their own and left his body behind to guard the treasure. But why would he be a skeleton? Why wouldn't he be in like his human form as a
Okay,
ghost?
but I just want to say something. So, if you want to leave someone there to guard the treasure, don't you think it would be more productive with his head intact?
Not just that,
Or
he's
his body
alive.
intact? Yeah, like him being there as like a living, breathing, non-skeleton
I don't
thing.
know. Okay, let's go to Missouri.
Mo.
Momo. Oh wow, Momo the Missouri Monster.
Momo. Like
Momo-
the meme.
Momo is Missouri's version of Bigfoot or Sasquatch. He's been said to have terrible body odor, a pumpkin-shaped head, and an appetite for dogs. Oh, go fuck yourself, Momo. Sorry. He eats dogs. In 1968, Momo reportedly tries to abduct a 4-year-old boy, though no evidence was ever found.
Okay, I'm just.
I'm sorry. Who tried to abduct you, Momo?
A pumpkin-headed pedophile. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay, so now we go to Montana. The story of Sacrifice Cliff. The story of Sacrifice Cliff comes from an old Native American legend. 2 members of the Crow tribe arrived in their village from a trip to find that almost everyone there had been infected with smallpox and died. So heartbroken about the loss of their loved ones, the 2 decided to blindfold their horses and ride off the cliff to join the tribe on the other side. Sacrifice Cliff is visible from almost anywhere in Billings, so it's sad and a bit spooky. So to think about this story while the cliff is looming over the entire city. That's just sad, man. Okay, Nebraska. The poisoned girl at Centennial Hall. When Insider chose the most haunted place in each state, Centennial Hall was no-brainer. People claim that there are multiple ghosts roaming the halls, but the creepiest story of Centennial Hall originates in the 1940s, when it used to be a high school. The story says that a student was playing a clarinet, suffered a heart attack, and died because her reed was poisoned. Now people claim to feel cold spots, hear disembodied music, and to have witnessed an empty rocking chair start to rock. Burn that shit.
Fuck would poison a clarinet player.
I don't know, probably an X. Anyway, Nevada. The truth about Area 51.
Oh, here we go.
There is perhaps no urban legend, myth, or conspiracy theory more famous than Nevada's Area 51, a mysterious government facility that is rumored to be associated with aliens. The US government officially states that Area 51 is classified due to national security, which only fuels the fire. The secrecy around Area 51 is what makes it inherently creepy, and with the government admitting to a program investigating UFOs, the theories about what's actually going on inside continue to seem more plausible.
Well, as far as I know, look, I'm not going to say the place's name, but I'd probably get arrested or some shit. But yeah, like, I mean, apparently there's like a scientific underground lab or some shit where stuff happens and there's some dodgy things on foot or, you know, caught on camera and all of that. But again, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. I've never really, well, obviously I've heard of the place, but I mean, I've never really seen anything. Not that I've Googled.
Yeah, me neither. I'm too afraid, man, because if you've seen what they do to people that just come close to the fence.
No.
Yeah.
What do they? I want to
You
know.
get one warning. If
Yeah.
you don't back off, they shoot you. That's how tight the security is there.
So
Don't go there.
if you
You can't even fly over it.
really,
Unless you're in
wonder
an
what it's
airplane
been
that
like
is way up too high.
to
There's a
see.
certain height that airplanes are allowed to fly over.
Shit, I did not know. That's actually quite cool.
Okay, anyway. New Hampshire, the Witch of Hampton Goody Cole. Eunice Goody Cole was the only woman in New Hampshire history to be tried for witchcraft, multiple times. The first charge was in 1656, and she was charged again in 1671. When she died and her body was recovered, townspeople were rumored to have staked her through the heart to prevent her from haunting their town. People continue to blame Goody Cole for the misfortunes of Hampton's citizens for the past 300 years. For example, a boat full of Hampton residents overturned, and everyone on board drowned, even though they were in swimming distance of shore. People blamed Goody Cole for the crash and for cursing the passengers by having them forget how to swim. Like, I'm sorry, you can't blame one woman for 300 years of bad luck.
Yeah, no, I blame laziness. That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Like, life jackets a thing, people. Anyway. New Jersey, the Jersey Devil. The story of the Jersey Devil has been around since the 1700s. The legend states that a woman named Mother Leeds became pregnant with her 13th child and said, "Let this one be the devil." Once the child was born, it grew hooves, wings, horns, and a tail.
Who the hell would wish that on their unborn child?
Now the monster has been spotted periodically throughout history in the Pine Barrens region of New Jersey. The state has embraced the legend so much that they named their hockey team after it.
I thought it sounded familiar.
New Mexico, La Mala Hora.
I've actually heard of that.
La Mala Hora, which translates to the evil hour, is an entity that you don't want to run into on a dark road. Legend says that at first it appears as a ball of black energy, constantly moving and changing its size and shape. If you look at it, it will drive you insane and will slowly kill you. Other times it appears as a scary looking woman. It's said that if you see her at a crossroads, you or someone in your family will die. Wow. Nice.
That's positive.
Yeah. New York. Cropsey. The story of Cropsey has many iterations, but it generally tells the story of a man who stalked a sleep-away camp, mental institution, and children's hospital, had a hook for a hand, and killed children who were wandering alone at night. Every single person who went to camp in New York State has heard about Cropsey. Things took a more sinister turn when a documentary persisted that Cropsey was actually real. A convicted child kidnapper named Andre Rand. Well, shit.
Well, so that's taken care of.
Yeah. North Carolina, the beast of Plandenboro. In the 1950s, multiple dogs were found dead and drained of blood in North Carolina town of Blandenboro. People believed that there was a vampiric beast in the woods and they tried to hunt the animal. Today, the town of Blandenboro has embraced its history and residents actually hold a beast feast every year. While some people are convinced the beast was probably a particularly large bobcat, it's never been confirmed exactly what was stalking their town. Okay. North Dakota, White Lady Lane. The story of White Lady Lane is a tragic one. The legend states that a young woman became pregnant out of wedlock, and her religious parents forced her to marry the father. The baby ended up dying after their wedding. The girl, so upset about her baby and her forced marriage, hanged herself from a bridge in her wedding dress. Locals claim to still see her ghost hanging from the bridge. That's just sad, man.
That is sad.
Ohio, the Werewolf of Defiance. During the summer of 1972, the people of Defiance claimed they were being terrorized by a werewolf. The sightings always happened at night, generally by the train tracks. A couple of women said it would try to get into their houses by rattling the doorknobs. The animal was said to be huge, hairy, and dressed in rags. But after summer ended, the beast disappeared, never to be heard from again. But the story lingers.
So,
I'm putting my money it was just a hobo.
the bro was hungry, man. Like, I'm gonna go knock on people's doors if I'm really hungry. But I just, like, they say it happens at night. Now, do they know that werewolves, according to legend,
And it comes out during a full moon.
is a thing that needs to happen. So,
No, I don't know.
it could have been a hairy hobo. We don't know.
It could have been Bigfoot.
It could have been Bigfoot. It could have been one of those other blokes that we mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
We don't know, but I don't know, mate.
Okay,
No,
so
I doubt that.
let's go to Oklahoma. The mysterious Shaman's Portal. The mysterious occurrence in Beaver Dunes Park have been attributed to the fact that it was built upon ancient Native American burial grounds, which is why it's called the Shaman's Portal. It's also known as the Oklahoma Bermuda Triangle. Mysterious things have happened in the park, starting with the Spanish conquistadors.
What? Conquistadors.
There we go. Who went missing while searching for gold in the 1500s. Since then, paranormal activity seekers flock to the dunes. Some people claim to see UFO crashes there, and a group in the 90s who tested the swirls said it was abnormal. Okay. So maybe your dog took a shit there, now it's abnormal. I don't know. Origin, the Bandage Man of Cannon Beach. The Bandage Man is the American version of a mummy. He is rumored to be the ghost of a logger who died in a sawmill accident and now terrorizes teenagers who hang out at a deserted area of a highway near Cannon Beach. Stories say that he knocks on car windows and trying to get in and smells really, really bad.
It's the same werewolf now. He's relocated, that's what's happened.
Pennsylvania, the bus to nowhere. In Philadelphia, there is rumored to be a bus that doesn't have an end destination. The story says that the bus only picks up passengers that are at their lowest moments, who need to get away from their problems. Once the passenger is ready to face the world, they can get off the bus. But the passenger has no idea how long they've been on the bus for. It could have been hours, days, or even years.
I'm pretty sure you would have known if you've been on a bus for years. Like, you're gonna walk past the first mirror and get the fucking heart attack of your life. Holy shit, it's me.
Rhode Island, the Devil's Footprints. There is a rock on Devil's Foot Road that appears to show a normal human footprint and a cloven hoof. The story goes that a Native American woman murdered a white man and fled the scene of the crime. While running, she was stopped by another man. She cried out for the devil to save her. When the man admitted that he himself was the devil and stomped his feet on the ground to prove that he had a cloven hoof. With the rock that was still shows to this day. I don't know, why would you ask the devil to help you?
But did he help her? That's
I don't know.
because he's just doing fucking, like, I don't know.
Like, I'm just gonna make you believe I'm another man that's gonna kill you, so you can ask me for help so I can get a deal, baby.
But can you imagine it was some
Look, my hoof.
Yeah, imagine it was like some random bloke walking around the bag of horseshoes. How can you know?
I don't know. A guy with a wooden leg that just made it.
Oh shit, there you go.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm sorry.
Okay, South Carolina, the death of Julia Legare. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway. In the 1800s...
Guy with the horseshoes, I'm sorry.
Are you done?
No. But please continue.
Okay. In the 1800s, the Legares were a well-to-do South Carolinian family that had homes on the mainland and on Edisto Island. The daughter, Julia, got sick, was pronounced dead, and was buried inside their family mausoleum. Years later, another member of the Legare family died, and when their tomb was opened up, the remains of Julia were found outside of her coffin. The story states that Julia has been in a coma and had woken up to try and escape her tomb, but sadly died. After the first reopening of the Legare Mausoleum, the door can't seem to stay shut. The Lagares tried multiple different doors, and every single time the door was found open. People believe that the ghost of Julia didn't want to be locked in that tomb for any longer. Oh my soul, like, that's my worst fear ever.
I see you like getting like
I
angsty
can't,
over
like,
there.
imagine,
What's going on?
imagine you're sick and you're in a hospital, and then when you wake up, you're in a coffin.
Would you know that you're in a coffin though?
Of course you'll know.
It's gonna be dark.
Yeah, but you'll feel around and then you feel it's a coffin.
Yeah, well, I have laid in a coffin before, and they're actually very comfortable.
So you're making me a deal right now.
What?
If I die, or they say I'm dead.
If you die,
Me.
you're gonna die. It's happening.
You never know. Okay, when I die, or when they say I died, please put like a shitload of batteries and a torch in with me, please.
And then what?
So I can see where the fuck I am when I wake
Okay,
up.
so you know you're in a coffin. Then what? Are we burying
It's not
you
going to
5
be
feet?
cell phone reception.
Are you going to be cremated under your license?
No, because even when you're in a coma, you're not going to know. You're not going to feel that shit.
But we know that we are, like we know how to differentiate between dead and a coma.
Yeah, but still, man, it's still one of my fears.
But you know what's nice though? At least she stayed in the mausoleum.
At least she
close
wasn't
by.
buried. She wasn't buried underneath the ground, so she could at least walk around there.
That's not helping the situation.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what's
fuck, I'm
worse.
dead. I'm just gonna stay here.
Okay, let's just continue.
Well, I'm not dead. Sorry. Fuck.
South Dakota. Walking Sam in the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Sorry. Purportedly over 7 feet tall and very slim, Walking Sam is said to appear on the streets on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation at night, and he tries to convince teenagers to take their own lives. What a fucking psycho. Anyway, whether or not Walking Sam is real, something tragic is going on at the reservation. From December 2014 to May 2015, there was 103 suicide attempts at Pine Ridge.
And that, boys and girls, is where Slender Man comes from. Have you seen the movie? I saw like half of it. It was terrible. I couldn't do it.
I don't know.
Maybe I should just give it another
You
go.
need to have an open mind for that shit. Anyway.
I'll just give it another go.
Tennessee, the boy in the bathroom at Pine Haven School. The Pine Haven School, located in Jamestown, is old and abandoned, and it's said to be haunted. A tragic story supposedly took place there, where a boy was cornered by a group of bullies in the bathroom and shoved into a mirror, which shattered and killed him. To avoid getting caught committing murder, the bullies decided to bury the body underneath the floorboards. Today, people say that if you go inside the school, you can see the reflection of the boy if you look in the mirror.
What, they're like 12? They'll go to juvie for 2 years and, it's over and done with. Like, you can still, I think you can still...
Don't be a
go to
wimp.
school.
Like, if you can dish it out by being a bully, don't be a wimp. Take your shit as it comes, man.
Well, I'd be too fucking scared to bury someone.
Anyway. Texas, the Candy Lady. In the early 1900s, children in an unnamed rural town in Texas started to go missing, and the residents blamed it on the Candy Lady. The story says that she would go around leaving candy on children's windows, and eventually she'd lure the kids out with notes attached, promising more candy. The story picked up steam when a farmer allegedly found rotten teeth on his farm and later found the body of a boy with his pockets stuffed with candy. While little is known about the origin of the story, some have speculated that the Candy Lady was real and that her name was Clara Crane.
Okay, but now they say that they found this kid with, pockets full of candy and rotten teeth.
Maybe you stole it.
How is your teeth going to be rotten, rotten if you have pockets full of candy? Because you obviously didn't eat it.
Probably had more.
Well, I would hope so. Because
No,
that
you
would not explain the
originally...
rotten teeth.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
You put me off sweets, though. I can tell you that much.
Well,
for like a day.
it's not always someone's fault if your kid's a sweet addict.
That's
Probably
the parents'
died
fault.
from diabetes. I don't know. Anyway, Utah.
Cholesterol's a thing.
In Utah, the curse of the Escalante Petrified Forest.
What?
Escalante
you don't need to read it
Petrified
again.
Forest. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
While it is illegal to take anything from the Escalante Petrified Forest State Park, There is a legend that says that anyone who takes pieces of petrified wood from the park will be cursed with bad luck, sickness, and accidents. Park manager Kendall Farnsworth stated in 2014 that he gets about a dozen packages every year containing a piece of wood from the park and an apologetic letter detailing the sender's misfortunes. Like, I mean, if there's a warning, listen to it. Just saying.
I wouldn't steal wood. I'll fucking lose it.
Anyway,
I won't be able
like,
to send it back.
We won't take Xena there.
No, that's my pup. I'm fucked.
She will eat everything. We won't be able to give it back.
She'll bring it home in her stomach. That's what's happening.
Vermont, the frozen people. First appearing in a diary that was published in the late 1800s, the legend of the hibernating old people recounts the tale of a poor family outside of Montpelier who couldn't afford to feed and clothe the oldest members of the family, so they froze and the people buried them. According to the tale, when spring rolled around, the elders thawed out and were just fine.
What?
Yeah, I just... Anyway, let's just continue because that doesn't make sense at all. That's why it's an urban legend. Virginia, the Bunny Man. The Bunny Man's legend starts with what every good urban legend starts with, an insane asylum.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Once Upon a Time.
The people of Clifton were so up in arms about the asylum that they were able to get all of the patients transferred. The patients were being moved on a bus that crashed, and the police were able to catch all the patients except one, the Bunny Man. According to the tale, the Bunny Man lived in the woods and sustained himself on woodland creatures, like bunnies. But eventually he attacked humans. Some people reported being attacked by a man with a hatchet. Other tales say that groups of teens would see a bright light and then would wind up dead and strung up over a bridge.
Where does the bright light come from?
Oh,
Does he have a flashlight?
10 to 1. I think so. I think he stole
Because
one.
I'm sorry, I'm probably being very close-minded about this, but like, if you escaped, or you escaped this fucking bus crash, who's gonna go? I forgot my torch. I'm gonna take the drivers.
I don't know. Just
know.
because he came from an insane asylum doesn't mean he's stupid.
No.
So probably there were guards on the bus.
No, it's
And they probably died or something, and he stole their torch. Or from campus, because he's in the woods. He stole torch and food and whatever.
Click, blinded, dead.
Exactly. Anyway, it's a bright light, not a blinding light. It's not the Weeknd song over here. It's just a bright light.
If it's a bright light, if it's bright enough to blind you, well then.
If you're in the woods, any light's bright. Just saying.
I don't know, I don't go camping. I'm not that kind of person.
Let's go to Washington. Bigfoot. Bigfoot is an internationally recognized name and has been spotted all over the country, but Bigfoot has been spotted the most in Washington state. Bigfoot is essentially a gigantic ape-like creature who is either a ferocious beast who attacks loggers and hikers or a gentle giant who wants to be left alone. Either way, there's something creepy about an undiscovered species of animal wandering around the Pacific Northwest, evading capture. I just think he's fucking smart.
He's like sitting there watching people walk past him with shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, oh no, not today, bro.
Bye. So, West Virginia, Mothman.
I've actually heard this is fucking creepy.
In 1966, stories say that West Virginia was visited by an insectoid flying creature with bright red eyes who resembled both a moth and a man. He was spotted flying around the town of Point Pleasant along with shining lights and the Men of Black. Men in Black, not of black. Okay, I'm just gonna reread that sentence.
Go for it.
He was spotted flying around the town of Point Pleasant along with shining lights and the Men in Black. Mothman's origins have been claimed as supernatural, alien, or government experiment gone wrong. But Point Pleasant has embraced the monster, erecting a statue, creating a museum, and even dedicating a festival to him. He's a lucky man. Mothman.
Look, I'm not a fan of moths. I'm not a fan of men.
Now I'm just thinking because moths are attracted to light. So why not just put on a massive fucking spotlight and see if he comes?
No, because I don't know.
Yeah, but I would want to see. I'm not afraid of moths,
I'm shit scared of them.
and I'm not afraid of men. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not afraid of them. You know, it's just not. You know, they're my cup of tea, and I like coffee. So
yeah, I
Yeah.
like tea. Anyway, I like tea as well, but I love coffee. Anyway, let's just continue. We're getting off track.
Story
We've
of
got
our
2 more
lives.
left. Okay.
Believe it.
Wisconsin, Boy Scout Lane. The story of what exactly happened at Boy Scout Lane varies, but they all end with the same conclusion. A group of Boy Scouts dead on the road. In some stories, there was a bus crash with no survivors, or they were murdered by their bus driver, or they just mysteriously vanished into the woods one by one. Visitors have reported seeing a swinging body in the trees, feeling as though they were being watched, and finding child-sized handprints. On fucking what?
Yo,
It's the woods, right?
I don't know. Again,
Yes,
I'm not
into
like,
the woods. Yeah. On what? On a fucking tree stump.
I'm not like a camping kind of person, so
The start of your tent.
can't.
Oh look, it's a little Boy Scout.
Fuck no.
We don't want cookies. Come
Yeah,
back
I was
later.
about Someone bring my wallet.
Wyoming, Devil's Tower. Sorry. There's no scientific consensus on why Devil's Rock looks the way it does, but one Native American creation story attributes the landmark shape to a tragedy.
Shite.
Okay, anyway. According to the story, a large group of Cheyenne girls were attacked and killed by a bear. 2 escaped and found help from 2 boys, who convinced the girls to act as bait. They climbed to the top of the tower and the bear tried to follow. The boys shot arrows at the bear and it finally gave up, leaving scratches all the way down the rock as it slid down. Have you seen the Devil's Tower?
Mm-mm.
It's actually very fascinating. But that is it, people. That concludes my creepiest urgent legends from every state in America.
Was that every state?
That's, well, the creepiest one.
Oh.
Not every state. Don't think
Right.
it's every state.
No, if you didn't read 52 stories, then
I think I read 56. I don't know.
please
I'm
don't
not
count
gonna-
them.
no,
I was
I'm not
about to
gonna
say, what are you
count them.
doing? No one's got
Okay.
time for that.
But yeah, that was it. That was my little segment for tonight.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know. Give us some feedback, man. For Jesus' sake. You guys keep on nagging me about making a podcast, but you never give us feedback.
Yeah, guys, like we don't.
Like, put
No,
it
we're
on
not
social
bad.
media where everyone can see it. Don't just say it to my face because everyone thinks I'm a liar. Not really.
you look so, I don't know, like you look so sad for a moment. I don't know what
I
happened.
should have became an actress. Sorry. I would have done great in Siam Little.
So it's a South African soap. That's just, I don't know. I haven't watched that shit in like over.
No, I don't know.
Fuck.
You can leave it for 10 years and then watch again and you'll know exactly
Yeah,
what
you'll watch
happened.
like 5 episodes, you know what's going on.
Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, like us, like us, love us. Go talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Send us an email.
Like, follow, caress,
All of it.
send love to our channel.
Share it.
Yes, please do. Don't be stingy. Okay, guys.
Well, we
We'll
don't sound
catch you.
desperate.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
So probably tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.